Howdy legends, Zephyr here and welcome back to another Apex Legends Pro Guides video. Today, we're taking an updated look at our Apex Legends Legend tier list to reflect the current state of play after the launch of Season 14, Hunted. But first, our question of the day. What do you think of the latest Legend, Vantage? Let us know in the comment section below. D tier. Starting in the D tier, these legends are usable, but you'd struggle to recommend them to anyone other than the most die-hard mains. Lifeline. Yet again, Lifeline props up the bottom of the pile for legends in Season 14. Her changes last season haven't addressed the real weaknesses of her kit. Her true weaknesses is that other legends have just simply surpassed her, and that's even more true after Newcastle got a healthy set of buffs in the Season 14 update. Plus, it'll take ages for your random teammates to realize that Lifeline needs the gold knockdown shield now, not the gold bag. Good luck, Lifeline mains. Good luck. Mirage. My respect for Mirage mains carries over from Season 13. You guys are mocked relentlessly and honestly have some of the best gun skill in the game to compensate for his weak kit. Mirage has received a slight buff this season as his decoys are now technically a direct counter for Seer, but this doesn't really bring Mirage closer to the meta. Maybe one day. Fancy an expert opinion on what Legends Apex Predators use? ProGuides has expert Apex Predator coaches on deck to advance your gameplay. They can help spot flaws, give you detailed knowledge, and direct you on how to best spend your time to take your Apex ability to the next level. ProGuides is your one-stop shop for all things Apex Legends, as well as high-quality coaches that are in-game tips, tricks, and guides suitable for any level of player. So, whatever your gameplay needs, we've got you covered. Why not sit down with an Apex Predator and get their opinion on what your perfect legend is? Check out the link in the description and let's go. C tier. These legends are the definition of decent, usable, sometimes situational, but pretty solid picks, and they have their moments for sure. Vantage. Now this is maybe a controversial one. Vantage's kit on paper seemed pretty strong, maybe even A tier. However, she's been pretty disappointing to play. Her ultimate sniper is good, but it's hard to see or know who's marked. It's powerful, but it's only the same level of power as a longbow or a sentinel. Compared to other ultimates, it's a lot harder to use too. Compare it to Seer, for example. Her tactical is useful, but also very clunky to use. It doesn't feel as smooth as other movement abilities. Finally, her passive. The information is useful, but it's not game-changing, and most importantly, it's situational. These mean she's sat in C tier for now. Bangalore. Bangalore is a legend that is useful at times and is especially stronger on Stormpoint, which has a lot more open space. However, with the heavy use of Seer and Bloodhound combined with Vantage's new tracking ability, there's simply too many counters to her smokes for her to be effective. Plus, while her tactical is better on larger maps, her ultimate is worse as it's easier to maneuver around. Fuse. Fuse is annoying. His knuckle cluster is powerful and is both damaging to your in-game legend and your own mood. His motherload is strong when used right and has scans for anyone inside it. But like most abilities in C tier, it is situational and it's only powerful when used correctly. His best ability is his extra long grenade throw and his ability to stack 2 grenades in his backpack. However, this ability does rely on grenades and therefore is an ability that relies on being able to find a suitable number of grenades. Watson. Watson has the best ability in Apex Legends. Once again, she can place up to 20 Nessies anywhere on the map, and therefore is arguably the best Apex Legend of all time. She has once again risen up the pick rate chart because of her strong pairing with Newcastle, but on her own, she still suffers from the same problem. She is weak unless she's holding down a strong spot in zone, and the extra crafting speed means that it's even easier for a full team to craft batteries, which negates her pylon's healing abilities. Pathfinder. I said it last time and I will say it again. Justice for my boy Pathfinder. Give this man a passive. Seriously, what the heck, Respawn? Yet another season with no pathy changes. Our boy was promised a passive rework seasons ago, and it has yet to materialize. He has, by far, the best voice lines in the game, but our man is built like a fridge and is outclassed in movement by newer legends, outclassed in transport by newer legends, and it's no longer the only beacon scanning legend. He's fun to play for sure, and his grapple can really help you escape or push an opponent, but sadly, there are better options out there. Other than the vibes, there's not much for our pathy boy. Hang in there, buddy. Revenant. Revenant is yet another annoying legend. Arguably, he's B tier on King's Canyon because of the charge towers, but after several nerfs to his totem, he is firmly in the C tier. His silence is a pretty handy ability, but it can be hard to aim. The jumbo jet level audio and huge visual blindness is very disorienting for the enemy. Seer's interrupt on his tactical is probably a cut above Revenant's silence, which relegates him even more. His totem is a third-party magnet, and he's easily camped. Crypto. Crypto has some really handy abilities, scanning the beacon and also grabbing banners from the drone. His EMP is strong if you can push from it, but overall, he can be very hard to use, and the high pace of Apex can sometimes leave Crypto a bit isolated. With a coordinated team, Crypto can push B tier, but overall, he is useful in certain situations only. B tier. These legends are strong, useful to a wide range of scenarios, but not overpowered or among the best of the best. Horizon. Everyone's favorite space mom is an incredibly versatile choice. Her ultimate is good, especially when paired with grenades, and her gravity lift is extremely flexible, and it can be used to push teams or as an escape route. Underrated is her zero gravity landings. You almost always get a weapon off drop if you're Horizon, and she can really put on the schmovement when needed. However, the changes to her black hole threaten to relegate Horizon back to the edge of the meta. It now takes friendly damage and takes 50% more damage from grenades. This weakens the classic throw alt throw nades, laugh mercilessly as teams get shredded wombo comboed that we have come to know and love. Wraith. How the mighty have fallen. Wraith used to be the legend in Apex, but sadly she has been surpassed in some ways and nerfed in others. She's a solid, reliable pick, and her portal is useful and her phase is still a decent escape tool. She isn't what she used to be, but she's still a solid legend. Rampart. Rampart's big Season 13 changes made her a pretty decent choice, and she stays there again this season. Her walls whip out a lot faster, though they can now be damaged by Mad Maggie's balls. Just remember to be cautious with the Sheila. The spin-up time and strafe speed do leave you vulnerable. Octane. As we head into King's Canyon, people will remember when Octane was the best legend in the game. His power has waned since, mostly due to additional audio on his pad and the greater health penalty on his stim. However, he is still a handy legend and he's enjoyable to play. Whizzing around the map combined with the recently buffed EVA 8 is still a strong choice. Loba. Loba has steadily been used more and more, even reaching the top levels of ALGS and ranked. Where she excels is in sweaty endgames. With Loba, you can really prioritize fast rotation and looting as you go. Plus, with the reduction in syringes and shield cells on the ground last season, the ability to slurp up heals through the ultimate is going to become even more powerful. Her bracelet is pretty much on par with Horizon and Wraith's escape abilities these days as well. A tier. These legends are strong and no matter the map or scenario can provide a strong utility for your team. Mad Maggie. Mad Maggie arrived with what seemed like a super strong kit, but she didn't make that huge impact that people expected. However, Season 14 sees Maggie get turbocharged. Her drill fires faster, her ball goes twice as fast. Her ultimate cooldown is still very short. What is even more notable is that her ball now deals damage to other abilities such as rampart walls and gas barrels. It doesn't damage bubbles though, it just straight up deletes them. He can literally roll through Gibby teams like they are nothing now. A huge and very consequential change. Valkyrie. Valk was probably the best legend in the game. She had it all. A jetpack for movement used to take high places and cross open spaces, escape and maneuver. Her rockets deal strong damage and stun enemies, and then her ultimate, the best ability in the game. You can be deployed as a mini UAV, escape from teams, or rotate fast and take a strong spot. Now with Season 14, Respawn have hit her hard. She might even be B tier once the changes shake out. Her skyward dive flies you a lot lower and her jetpack depletes quicker, and you can't really do the super fast spammy jetpack escape that saved Valks so many times. Even her missiles got a pretty big nerf. She's still useful, but a lot less so. Caustic. Caustic is very unpopular, but sadly very effective, especially in the small buildings of Relic on Kings Canyon. While rightly, many people detest this legend, you cannot argue that he is not very powerful. Used religiously at the higher levels of gameplay, he can lock down a building with ease. While he is chunky and can be beamed in the open, his barrels can be used to claim space, and Caustic is regularly used outside of just holding a building down. Plus, the only real counter to Caustic is having a Caustic. This makes him a strong legend, even in a lobby full of Caustics. The Maggie changes will not impact his barrels too much, as they're usually placed inside. Seer. Last season I said, look, hear me out. Seer is still good. Sure, his abilities are nowhere near what they were on release, but Seer really can be powerful. I told you so. Thanks to ALGS, Seer has been rediscovered. He is a very strong legend in the right circumstances and can be very dominating in the game. His heartbeat sensor provides a lot of information, and it doesn't notify the enemy that they're on scan. His ultimate is great, but it does attract third parties. The tactical is somewhat easily dodged, but when hit, it's a real game changer. Bloodhound. Bloodhound is one of the strongest legends in the game and deservedly sits in the A tier. They are an incredibly easy legend to pick up, with scans providing good information that are very useful. His ultimate is strong, but Bloodhound's weakness is that if caught in the open, they are very vulnerable. Where they beat legends like Seer is just how easily they can provide clear information to their team. Ashe. Ashe has been a strong legend since release. Her Phase Breach portal is powerful and provides a useful escape tool or a great way to push. However, it can be hard to execute. However, the instant release aspect makes it better than Wraith's portal in that regard. You can very quickly close a distance. The tether is decent, but travels extremely slowly. Her passive ability is probably the least talked about part of her kit, but it can be strong in the right situations. S tier. The two S tier legends are by far the strongest in the game and have excellent abilities. Newcastle. The Season 13 addition into the Apex game slotted very solidly into the A tier. He had a very strong revive ability that far exceeded lifelines, an electrified fortress that provided cover, and a movable shield. However, his pick rate languished at the very bottom by the end of the season. To address this, he's received a series of buffs, including a lot more health on his mobile shield and a faster drag speed while reviving. Newcastle is stronger than ever, and this bumps him straight into the S tier. Give him a try. Gibraltar. Gibraltar is a very underrated legend by casual players, but the top pros have him at almost a 90% pick rate in some tournaments. His Dome of Protection is one of the most versatile abilities in the game, used for reviving, pushing, resetting, or rotating. It is an incredibly strong ability. His defensive bombardment does major damage, and the Gibraltar gun shield lets you trade damage very effectively. Maggie's counter could see him knocked out of the S tier, but for now, he continues to be a very dominating and strong legend. That's our Apex Legends Season 14 tier list concluded. Until next time, gamers.